Oh, yes. I'm singing an old song, my friends, about people who try to put you down, give you verbal abuse. Don't let them into your head, because if you do, they have home. This is called I'm Never Gonna Let Your Negative Vibes and Comments Get Through to My Psyche and Cripple Me.
You probably had a more interesting link here than I had. I just came through Shay, a pal of mine that sells burgers at football matches. And he dragged me out one day and said, look, will you come up to Coolmine and meet a few people and have a chat with some of the lads?
Yeah.
And I did. And here I'm still going 5 or 6 years later, coming up and hearing fabulous stories and stories of hope and renewal and people getting their lives back together. And stories of the extraordinary staff. You probably have a closer link, I think, have you?
It's a very, just a very inspiring place, Brian, isn't it? It's very, it gives me a lift here every time I come out here. It's just a great vibration here, isn't it? And I came here first. A friend of mine, Owen Coughlin from Cork. He's a great musician, but he worked with Coolmine here. And he just said, come up with a few of the lads are into our music and come up and sing them a song. So David, what was your life like before you came to Coolmine?
My life before Coolmine was very chaotic. I was a young fella just on a path of destruction that I just couldn't get away from. I grew up with a load of lads in Blanchardstown and I crossed an invisible line somewhere that they all started getting trades and growing up and getting married, and I ended up on a path to prison, homelessness, and just out of control.
Sure.
In Tallaght, growing up in the 80s, there was a lot of joyriding going on, there was a lot of criminality. And being introduced to solvent abuse, sniffing glue and Tipex sinners at a young age, kind of developed into smoking cannabis, getting involved then at the age of 15, 16 into the kind of taking what was known as DF118s, which was codeine based, and kind of, I'll say, falling in love with them, because that's what really happens, you know. I mean, everything goes out the window at that stage in your life, even at 15 or 16. Heroin and morphine kind of came into the scene then. I was about 17 at the time. Had picked up a couple of charges, started getting involved in drug use. The kind of weekend drug scene had gone, and it took me over at the age of 17 or 18.
It's hard on a parent, you know, and I suppose I'm to give the parent's point of view. It's hard on a parent because, one, you don't know anything. You have to go on Google and find out what's heroin, what do you do about it, how does it work, how do you fight it. It's a bit shameful, you know, you feel, because, you know, the way people say, well, I blame the parents. Well, the parents blame the parents too. The parents blame themselves. You say, right, I should have got her them runners that she wanted instead of getting the cheap ones. She must have got slagged in school. She's just, you know.
All the stuff in your head.
Yeah, your head is wrecked. And at the same time, you're kind of, you know, are they alive? This is another day, they got through another day. But your fear is always that you're going to lose them.
I worked on the building sites, and everyday life was just about going to work and living for the weekend to get that drink, you know. I ended up getting a girl pregnant, and it wasn't very good to her, you know. And I ended up destroying that relationship with my daughter, you know. Wasn't really there for her. And just consequences, but no matter what the consequences were, I could never stop, you know.
Sure.
But by the end of it now, I it started off with the drink and all, but by the end of it, it was crack and heroin and living in a homeless hostel in town, you know.
Sure.
That's pretty much what my life was like beforehand, you know. I always ended up building up a bit of self-esteem, building up a bit of a life, and then just gets destroyed again.
Sure.
You know. So life before Coolmine, it was unmanageable.
Yeah.
I would say that, yeah.
I come from a family of extreme dysfunction, and my mother was a chronic alcoholic, so I grew up with a lot of trauma, you know, so I would have blamed my mother a lot for my own addiction. So at about the age of 8, my mother would have got me drunk drinking homebrew, and that was my first experience with drugs or alcohol, and then that went on to I suppose 12, 13 was the weed and the alcohol really, and then after that, and I was trying to fit in because there was needs in me that hadn't been met as a child, and I was reaching out trying to get them. I was an IV heroin user, I was on crack, I was on methadone, I was on the bends, I was on anything at the time that I could get my hands on, just to not feel basically. And my mental health, like I had that many failed suicide attempts. I was like, I couldn't be a successful drug addict, and I couldn't even take my own life. I couldn't do anything. Nothing I put my hands to worked back then. I used to cry out to God, like, answer me prayers and help me, and nothing ever happened.
Lord, won't you give me this day to be strong and be true? 'Cause Lord, when the devil gets into my head, I'm so blue, so blue, so blue. Woo!
What was it like when you came to Coolmine?
It was very hard, man.
I'd say so.
I didn't want to be here, you know, but I didn't want to be in the hostels either. I always had that problem growing up. If I was at A, I wanted to be in B, and if I was at B, I wanted to be at A. I was never happy, no matter where I was in my head, you know.
Yeah. What would you say is special about Coolmine?
How it's ran by the clients. It's really self-ran. I know the staff, they sit in and facilitate the groups, but the thing about the therapeutic community, it's community is method. Everyone's working together to achieve the same thing. You know, you get a role, you either work outside in the environment, or you get a job in the kitchen, or the maintenance department, or the horticulture we have around the back. We grow veg and tomatoes and things like that. And yeah, it's special in a sense that they just bring you in and talk to you and go, come on in, like, oh, come here, sit down, have something to eat. What's wrong with you? I never had that in my life.
Sure.
I never had that.
Coolmine has a real focus on the peer supporting each other, but giving them the tools to be able to do that. So that's where, because people might say, well, what do the staff do? You know, why do you have staff? So the staff have to be able to provide the tools for people to be able to do that. So when we talk about what tools are they, we do a lot of workshops here in Coolmine. So a lot of the workshops might be challenge and negative thinking, showing a person how to challenge when they start thinking negatively, relapse prevention, communication skills, problem solving skills. So these are all the tools that the peer will require to help support each other. But ultimately, they are the people they leave with, and that's what I love about Coolmine.
I had my 24th birthday party here, and it was the best party I ever had in my life.
Was it?
It was unbelievable, and I just felt at the time, I said, this is a bit special, this place. You can feel people really care about you.
Yeah.
In 1990s here, I graduated and I was asked to come back and work as a full-time staff member for 2 years.
Right.
So that was great, but I have to say, I
Will you
think...
start saving people then?
Well, I try not to say that. I think your music saves people be better than me saving people. I try not to fall into that trap. I try and support people.
Sure.
And I don't even give people advice. I try and support them through my own experience.
When I came into Coolmine, you know, the biggest thing that stands out to me was how safe I felt, because I'd come from a life of living on the streets. I'd come from a life of people coming into my house that shouldn't have been in the house. Like, I don't want to say too much because it's family and friends are listening, and I don't want to have an impact on their own emotions. And I learned how to laugh. You know, I was so disconnected from my emotions when I came into Coolmine. I couldn't even cry. On a journey with my key worker at the time, she was able to help me to understand, to regulate, and then
to express those emotions.
And to communicate. Like, communicate is one of the big...
So here you are safe and you're among people that you could communicate with.
Yeah.
But what happened when I graduated was I was over a year sober and things were going well, and I was at the starting back up a little college course. I was doing a bit of work with the radio across the way. Life was good. And I lost track again. I remember having the conversation with myself saying, "You're grand, like, look at you flying." This is my own head talking to me. "You're flying, look at you, doing really well. You don't need to do any of them meetings or anything. You grew up with the wrong crowd, but look at you now, you're flying." But very, very quickly after having that conversation, probably within 2 weeks, I was back in the shitter again. Paul Hatton kept putting his hand out, kept getting me back in. You know, I'd come to that gate in an awful mess. I'd have no family around me. There'd be no one could be near me because it was a tornado. Just couldn't be managed. But Paul kept putting his hand out. Paul seeing something that I couldn't even see in myself, that no one else could see. I didn't even know where it was going or what was happening in life. I'd say, "Listen, come in, stay. Will you stay?" "Yeah, of course." I said, "There's nowhere to go. I don't know where to be even going." And that happened a number of times, where like I just felt my bridges were burnt, but I'd still ring him. I always had Paul's number if you want to ring him. "I need your help." And he done it repeatedly, and then just a penny dropped. Penny just dropped, and finally my life just started to change.
Listen to me, butterfly. There's only so much wine you can drink in one life, but it'll never be enough to save you from the bottom of your glass.
Coolmine is just will help you when no one else will help you. Sure. You know, when you've no one in your life, you're in the gutter, you've no one. No one believes you. Don't even believe in yourself. You don't even see worthiness in yourself. You're so low. Sure. Coolmine see it. The people, the staff in Coolmine see in you what you don't see in yourself, and what nobody else. They believe in you. Yeah. They believe that there's something in there that you don't believe is in there. Yeah. And they unlock a potential. Yeah. They unlock a potential out of people that's hidden away for so long. Yeah. You know, they get people back into society, education, jobs. They just bring a light out in people. Yeah. I don't know how they do it, but they do it.
So I'm trying a song about, this is about, you know, trying to let go of things in your past that are affecting you, that are stopping you from living a good life today and doing good things, you know. Trying to let stuff go from your past, you know. It's like picking up a hot coal for the flow. If I'm gonna find some healing,
goodbye. Let it go. Just let it go. We can make this world a better place in a little way. Don't you know? If you truly seek forgiveness, you must find it within you. It will come with reparation and the good things you now do. Let it go. Just let it go. We can change somebody's world today in a little way, without them knowing. And you sing it, let it go. Let it go. When they're on drugs, you kind of lose the dreams you had for their future, the dreams you had for the life that you wanted them to have. And it was more about wanting them to be healthy and happy and to have an easier life and stuff like that. So it takes the difficulty in some respects out of their lives when they recover. Sure. That difficulty, that shame.
And what does the recovery journey mean to you?
It meant to me just reintegrating back into society, you know, just being a normal member, not a destructive member of society. Obviously it means not picking up a substance to deal with my emotions. Yeah. To be a father, to be a son again, to be a brother. It's a sense of achievement at the end of the day if I've done something for someone else, you know. And I'll never be able to repay Coolmine for what they've given me.
Sure.
But I'll try, you know.
Sure.
I'll try my best.
And what's life like for you now?
Well, let's move on. Well, it's probably 10 stone heavier. I set up a catering business the last 20 years. I feel that Coolmine gave me the confidence. I've always found I like to have an impact on people. And I feel in Coolmine, coming back to Coolmine, I have an impact on people's lives. Great. So it's just a privilege to be able to be in that position and trusted with that position.
Sure.
But I think the main thing is I have a life. Like, I should be dead. I have a good life. I have a life with ups and downs in it. I have to pay bills, I have to deal with family, I have to deal with trauma. I have to deal with my own triggers, which I said the last time I had done an interview. Like, that doesn't stop. Life is still there. Bills have to be paid. I'm in education at the moment. I'm in DCU doing a course. I'm doing
what course
homeless intervention and prevention.
Lovely.
So that's brilliant.
Lovely.
It's just great to be walking in and being a student and part of that
Yeah.
normal life that I didn't get when I was a child. I'm in full-time employment. I'm with the same organisation for the last 8 years, working with homeless women. I love it. I have a lot of skills that I'm able to give them that I've learned through Coolmine. I have the language because I went through Coolmine. I've travelled, I've done missionary work and travelled and worked in orphanages.
It has what you find is needed, the beginning, the middle and the continuous end, you know, so the ongoing life support. You see your child become healthy, put a bit of weight back on, get a little bit of a shine in their eyes.
My recovery has recovered my family, my grandparents, my parents, my brothers, my nephews, my nieces, my partner, my children. This has had such effect on everybody. Like I probably dragged 100 people down with me, like literally misery, but brought them all back up with me. Like my ma last night, I only talked to my ma last night, she couldn't be prouder of where I am. And she's delighted, but I've brought a sense of ease and comfort to her, you know, which gives me ease and comfort, you know, so she sees what I'm doing. My uncle only said to me last week, he said, if you had just like got your life together, and he said, just stayed on social welfare or whatever, we'd have been all proud of you. He said, but you're after setting this, you're after just raising the bar, like, we can't believe what you're after doing, so I love hearing that.
That's great.
You know, so yeah, it is great. Long may it last.
Well done, bro. Mass more respect.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Damien. Thanks very much.
And the old triangle. Where jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal
Thanks a lot, boys.